Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Alright, good evening everyone. Hopefully this is all connected up right. We get set to rock and roll here tonight from Daytona once again this week. This time we're here with the trucks. We get set to rock and roll here. Hopefully everything's set. Looks like it is. I got 24 seconds here in qualifying to go. We're looking there at Jimmy Pilot there in fourth right now, sitting down there on the track. Waiting to see who else is out here. I got Chris Schosler, Steven Chu, Chris Ramsey, Dakota Iskrig. Good field here tonight. Probably got about 27 trucks out here, if they all kind of take the field. Qualifying underway. There you see the 98 there of Eric Copperthorne. He's coming out there onto the track. You got some others, I'm sure, as well. There's the 00, Stephen Shue. Dylan Grace out there in the 12. There's 58 of Johnny Hurst. No laps, no time lapse as of yet. Hey, look there at the number 27 of Brian Hunter. And you see Ryan Hunter there in at 27, coming around turn 3 and 4, I believe. No, that's 1 and 2, sorry. As they work down the backstretch. Waiting to see what times start coming in here for the Wagner Welding Super Speedway Series. Thank you all for tuning in here to Flicker Farm TV on the pole. This week, as we get things situated here once again, these drivers out here putting some times in. There you see Eric Copperthorne there with the best time with a 51.280. Now you watch that 27 of Ryan Hunter, currently sitting fifth at 51.284. Barker, oh, wait a moment. Stephen Shue takes the top now with a 51.121. Chris Phelps with a 51.122. Still have a few drivers yet to come out to qualify. Try to figure out how much time's left. Got about a minute 40 here. Pilots out here taking out his out lap. And he waits to see here what he can do. Coming down to a minute, so he may not get a lap in. We'll have to wait and see. There you see Ace there. He's got a 51.400 right now. There's Chris Ramsey. Dakota Iskrig with a 41 or a 51.258. Ace up there with a 51.159 now. This piling comes down the back stretch. I'm sorry, no, coming through the front stretch right now. He's got his lap underway. Can he complete it? And he works there through 2. And down the backstretch, 20 seconds to go for qualifying. Can he complete the lap for Rowdy? And they head on down through here into corner number 3. Rowdy out there in the number 29. Looking to see if he can get a lap in, and I don't know if it'll count it. As qualifying, the flag has waved as he's coming out of 4 here, and it will not let him complete the lap. Your grid will be as follows. We look here. We got Stephen Chu out there in front. Chris Ramsey second. Christopher Barker there third. Ben Parson fourth. Barry Tollison there fifth. Adam Sprinkle sixth. Matthew Barker out there in seventh. Johnny Hurst starting eighth. Ryan Hunter starting ninth. Chad Hawkins starting 10th. Starting 11th is Dylan Grace. Ben Ryan starting 12th. Then 13th is Dakota Iskrig. Eric Copperthorne will rule off in 14th. Tim Richardson in 15th. Chris Ramsey 16th. Dalton Steele there in 17th. Jimmy Powlin there in 18th. Mike Presley 19th. Tyler Manning there in 20th. Samuel Lucier there in 21st. Brian Tiffany there in 22nd. Liam Beebe in 23rd. Chris Schossler in 24th. Robert Monday 25th. Brandon McKee starting 26th. And Wayne Isbell there in 27th. That is your starting grid here tonight as they get ready to roll off of pit road. Waiting for them all here, trying to get a shot of them, and it's just not working out here the way I needed to. All drivers are gridded up. We're getting ready to start the race here in another lap. As they roll off. Stephen Chu, your pole sitter here for tonight. Chris Phillips there in second in that 006. You got the 046 of Christopher Barker. They're getting ready to start the race, as we said. Looking there at the number 28 of Barry Tollison. To his outside. Yeah, 58 of Johnny Hurst. 50 laps the distance. How many of them do we think we can run green? Green flag in the air. They're down and away. Stephen Chu down there on the inside. That 58 getting real anxious real early as Johnny Hurst ends up his way through there. The 77 of Adam Sprinkle having an issue that he's up there on the high side. I don't know quite what happened, but he is up there on the top side struggling and falling back in a hurry. Clear back to 12th right now. 3 wide there as he comes off at corner number 2. He's clear back there with the number 9 machine of Brian Tiffany. Driver worked through turn 3 and 4. Heading back out there to the front stretch. Up there towards the top side, working down through the front, down here into corner number 1. Completing the first lap. Ben Parson up there on the high side, working here through turn 1 and 2. Down here on the inside, that is Chris Phillips leading the bottom side. Roll it down through the back stretch. Everybody kind of hanging on here for the time being. Real tight down there on the bottom. You can see there's hardly any gap between those front three trucks. As that Foothills Motorsport machine the 046 of Chris Barker. Third in line down there. Ace, he's up there on the outside in that black number 96. Trying to get that truck up there towards the front, pushing Ben Parson. You got the 40, backed off a little bit. That is Dakota Iskrig. And that there below him is that number 28 of Barry Tollefson. Working down the backstretch. Everybody's tight down there on the inside once again, backing off a little bit through the corner. Coming up here, complete lap number 3. Lap number 4 will be on the board as soon as they come through the trioval here. Works back down into the 1. Lap 4 on the board. Down here in the corner number 1 and 2. There we're on board with Dakota Iskrig. He works there out of corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Everybody side by side for the most part. That inside lane trying to push along there. But that outside lane, they're pushing too. They come here off of turn number 3. Heading back out here out of 4. You can pretty much see the whole pack there on your screen. There's Wayne Isbell. Dakota Iskrig up here. We got them 3 wide up there. The 56 there of Dalton Steele up there on the outside. Whoa, a little close there, but he keeps it together. Work down here. There you see Adam Springle back there in about 18th position. Tyler Manning, Liam Beebe, Chris Phillips, Brian Tiffany. And trying to catch some of the guys back here towards the back. Hey, Robert Monday back here rounding out your field and that Castrol GTX number 57. Down there off the third, number 3, down that back straightaway. Everybody minding their own thing. That's the 12 dips down there below that double yellow. That is the 12 of Dylan Grace. As you see that 56 in the middle there, getting underneath the 40 of Dakota Iskrig. Dalton Steele got to hang it in there. We got to make sure he keeps everything nice and straight as they work here through the trioval. And they do foul it back, double fouled as they work down here in the corner number 1. Dalton Steele now up there on the high side in front of Dakota Iskrig. We still got Parson leading that outside lane. Chris Phillips leading that inside lane. Here at lap number 7 as they roll down the backstretch once again. Let's go ahead and see if we can wake up our groundhog and get a little bit of heated up. back here live at the racetrack, side by side, and they come here across the stripe here, lap number 10. Back down here in the corner number 1. Ben Parsons still leads on the outside. Chris Phillips down there on the inside. Work down that back straightaway. Matthew Barger back there in second truck back. And we see there go. And the 56 is loose. Caution is going to come out as the 56 is around. He dipped around underneath that line. And that's going to bring him out. The caution. We saw that happening there with the 56, Dalton Steele coming down there below that yellow line. You see him there dropping down below. They can't quite get it collected as then he comes back up into the 40, right up in front of the 2 there of Tim Richardson. Richardson nowhere to go. You have the 27 as well. I think may have saved it. I'm not sure. Brian Hunter. He did. Adam Springle possibly involved. Yes, Adam Springle involved. Same with Rowdy. Rowdy ends up there into the outside wall hard. Oh, man. Tough break there for some of these drivers. We said we saw. We see him there. Good evening there, Chase. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. You see that 56 ends up loose down there below the line, ends up the racetrack. Couple of them check up there at the back as they saw smoke. Okay, so there was a separate incident there with Adam Springle going and getting collected back there in the back. The 17 picking up there. That was the 17 there. Mike Presley. Driver end up not having quite the start they were hoping for. I know they're getting close to halfway here, but not quite. We're here at lap number 12. They got to get to lap 25 to be at halfway. Parson is your control car out front. Now, if you were watching last week, Parson came out and got the win here with the James Wagner Welding Super Speedway Series. And he made it 2 for 2 and let him know he is here to play. At Cigar Time Lounge, number 33, out there in front once again this week. Liam Beebe there in second, in at number 83. Chris Phillips back here in third. Stephen Shue in fourth. Matt Barger in fifth. That's rounding out your top 5 right now. We have, let me look here. Leading your points. Leading in the points is Adam Sprinkle with Clyde Barker in second. Mike Presley third. Dylan Grace there in fourth. With Tyler Manning fifth. Those are your top 5 in points right now. Try to see if I can find out here. There we go. There's what I'm after. So we have trucks at Daytona tonight. Then we have ARCA at Talladega next week. And then Xfinity back here at Daytona to round out the season. So we have just 2 more races after tonight to find out who your victory is or who your champion is. Now I head off through turn number 3. If I'm looking at it right, that pace truck there is going to roll off. Where I get lost and we're on turn 1 and 2. What turn are we in? I get lost here. We're on turn 1 and 2. Figures I'd get lost again. All right, down that backstretch here. Parson is your leader down there on the inside. BB up there on the outside in that 83. Parson out there as your control car. Are you saying, Chase, we need to get Ben a Ford to run out here? Is that what you're hitting at? Here we go. Getting ready for the restart here at lap number 14. Pace truck's going to roll off, and unlike Dega, which we'll be at next week, Dega has a longer front stretch when it comes to where the start-finish line is, as it's after the tri-oval, where here at Daytona, it's right in the middle of the tri-oval. Parson, great restart. Caught BB sleeping a little bit. That's going to allow the 6 of Chris Phillips to get up there in the second. BB's going to drop down there. That's going to let Steven Shu. Is Shu going to stay up, or is he going to come down? He's going to stay up as he's stuck up there now, as here comes Ace down there on the inside. Working there through off of 2. Now that outside lane's gaining momentum. Parsons going to fall back a little bit. As BB tries to push him forward. Here comes the 40 there on the inside as well. The front 3 trucks drop to the inside as they roll through 3 and 4. That'll be Philip Shu and Christopher Barker dropping down there into the bottom side. Ace Barker up there on the outside. Going to try to bring that outside lane up through again. As Parsons sitting there, 4th car back on the inside lane. Right in front of Liam Beebe and the 40 of Dakota Isgrave. You got the 58, Johnny Hurst, trying to roll his way up there as he's up there on the top side. Now the 40 of Dakota Isgrave jumps to the outside as the outside lane's trying to form up some more down there in the back. And they roll down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Right now, Chris Phillips, your leader, down here on the inside. Followed by Steven Shu. And you got the 46 there of Christopher Barger. All 3 of them on the Foothills Racing team. So the team trying to work together as they're up there at the front. And we see the 12 now of Dylan Grace getting up there to the high side. In that interstate battery machine. Everybody works there off of 2, down through that back straightaway. In the corner number 1. As they roll down through the front stretch. We got Chris Phillips out there in front. Steven Shu there second. Ace up there on the high side, pulling along the 27 of Ryan Hunter. As they work down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Oh, hang on to it. Hunter seemed to be a little weeble wobble down there through the corner. Right behind him is the 58 of Johnny Hurst. And that's just how quickly things can go from you leading to you back into about 8th to 10th spot. We've seen Parson end up down there. He's sitting in about 7th right now. As that outside lane tries to pour him up. And roll down through the backstretch. Everybody's double foul all the way through the pack here at lap number 18. Heading down here into corner number 1. Ryan Hunter up there behind Ace as Ace tries to pull that top lane to the lead. But down there on the inside, Shu is there on the second truck back as Phillips leads that bottom lane. Ryan Hunter back here in the fourth. You got Christopher Barker in the fifth. Those lanes shuffling back and forth as they roll down here into corner number 1 and 2 again. I'm sorry, down here through 3 and 4. Back out onto the front stretch. As you see them all side by side here. There we watch. Oh boy, hang on to it. You weren't completely square there, Hunter, but they made it work as that inside lane forms up down there on the inside. Hunter's going to try to put it 3 wide. Actually, get down there in front of Lee and Beebe as they work down here through turn 1 and 2. Back out there onto the front stretch. Off the corner, there comes Parson out there to the outside. He's going to try to get that outside lane to roll along. He's got a little bit of side drafting, it looks like, going on. He's up there beside the 046. Here comes Ace. Ace is pulling up there behind him, trying to give him a shove as they work down here into corner number 1 and 2. Now we see there's the 006 of Chris Phillips down there on the inside. Caution is out, unsure for what. As I don't see anything marked on my end. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything back through here either. Now we do have one blown up here. That'd be Barry Tolleson into number 28, all blown up. Richard's giving him a shove back there to pit road. We'll see if we can catch anything here on our replay. There you see it there, up into the outside wall goes the number 51, maybe? There you see the 28 there. Tolleson end up around and up into the outside wall hard. And Tolleson broke at that point. Working out here now as caution number 2 is out there on the board. We'll be back here after this short commercial message.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, back here at the racetrack, we had a few come in and a few stay out. And the few that stayed out, that would be Dylan Grace, Dakota Iskrig, Brian Tiffany, and Wayne Isbell. Yeah, we see Hawkins has a meatball. Tolleson has a meatball. Now, Hawkins should be on pit road. Which he is. Hey, Chris Phillips there in the 006. There's the 78 of Tyler Manning, Mike Presley back here. Dalton Steele. Chris Ramsey on pit road. Whoa, boy, what a night here at Daytona. Only 2 cautions, which is pretty good here as we go through the night. Lights go out. We're going to be going green flag racing. Yeah, work through 1 and 2. Brian Tiffany back here in 3rd. Wayne Isbell there in 4th. Chris Phillips there 5th. We see Shu up there on the outside in 6th. Got it coming around for the green flag. I see Dylan Grace as your current leader out there in that number 12 machine. Up to his outside is the 40 of Dakota Isgrave. As you're on board with Dakota for the restart. They're down and away. Great start there by Dylan as they work on down through here. There you see the 28 trying to get out ahead of the field. And going to end up a lap down here, or another lap down I should say. And he's already had a couple laps down. They work on back through. Look at that 6 there of Wayne Isbell. Working up there on the top side. That real tree machine working down the back stretch. Brian Tiffany down there on the inside. Stephen Shu there in 6th. Johnny Hurst there in 8th. Christopher Barger back there in 9th as they work on that down through here. Up off the corner, down through in the corner number, up here into the tri-oval. Wasn't sure if Ace was going to make it 3 wide or not, but he's going to just stick it out there. 2 wide, and they'll come down through off the tri-oval down here in the corner number 1. And everybody kind of minding their own here with 26 laps to go. Down here off of corner number 2, down the backstretch. Everybody's double foul, working down that backstretch down here in the corner number 1. Stephen Shu there in 6th. Chris Phillips there in 7th. Johnny Hurst there in 8th, and then work on down through out of turn number 2. I'm sorry, down out of turn number 4, back down here through the tri-oval. Everybody trying to make it to the end. Lap 25 on the board. We have 25 laps to go. And we're down here out of the corner. You see Ace there trying to push along. That's 6 of Wayne. As they work on down the backstretch. Down here on the inside is that 12 of Dylan Grace. Dakota Iskrig as well as that number 9 of Brian Tiffany. Everybody down here through the corner. Great looking truck there in the second truck back there. That's the 96 of Matthew Barker. Down here in the corner, number 1 through the tri-oval. Hang on to it. As the 6 there, Brian Tiffany got a little bit of a nudge. You got the 40 there trying to figure out what lane he wants as they're slicing and dicing all over the place back here. Not quite what you want to do when you're trying to push somebody to the front. As the 12 sits down there on the inside, that's Dylan Grace. Working on down there. You got Matthew Barker up there on the high side. Now they all kind of scatter there. Unsure what the caution was for. We'll see if we can find something here. Third caution of the night. Try to find out what happened, and right there looks to be. Did Parson get a little loose? That would happen. Parson got a little loose. Parson comes up the racetrack, gets up into the 27. Ryan Hunter goes around. Collects the Valvoline machine there. We see there Dalton Steele goes around once again. Caution comes out for the third time. Here everybody comes in the pit lane. The whole field. I'm not seeing anybody skipping here. Everybody's come in. Work off the corner now. They're down there on the inside. There you see the 6 of Chris Phillips. Christopher Barker up there in front. Barker there and Matthew Barker there in second. Not sure where I have backfeed from. You might have heard me ting my cup a little bit. We're going down through the backstretch here. We're going down here out of turn number 3 and 4. 22 to go. Hopefully your driver's still in it as they continue on here. You can see there the 96 of Matthew Barker Ace sitting there in second. Chris Barker out there in front leading the way. Dylan Grace in third. Lights still on the pace car. All right, getting ready here, side by side once again. Huh. All right, I'll check into that there, Skittles. Working down here off of corner number 2. Dylan Grace here in third. Wayne Isbell. Working there off the corner. Robert Lynch here cheering on Matt Barger. And head on down through that backstretch here with 21 to go. Be 20 to go as they come across the line. Skittle, let me know if I fixed that issue there. And we're going down here out of corner number 3 and 4. Back around here towards the front. Everybody side by side, anxious to get this thing rolling once again with 20 laps to go. Fred pulls that pace truck off where it hands it over to Christopher Barker to get them underway. They're in the restart zone. They're down and away here through the tri-oval. You got the 12, Dylan Graves down there on the inside, battling there with Ace as they come there through the tri-oval down here into corner number 1. Dylan Graves getting a little bit better run, but wait a moment. Here comes that 6 of Wayne Isbell up there on the high side. They're working through 1 and 2. And we see Parson there up there in about 7th position right now. Everybody's double file for the most part. As a 27 there, Brian Hunter's trying to figure out where he wants to be. And they work down here off corner number 3 and 4. Back around onto that front stretch here. Gonna soon be 19 laps to go for the James Wagner Welding Super Speedway Series. Through the stripe, Isbell will get credit for that lap. And come down through into corner number 1 and 2. Ace now battles back here on the inside. Parson up there on the outside. Right there behind him is Johnny Hurst. And they work down there through the backstretch. Johnny Hurst looking to the inside there of Parson as they go 3 wide. Hurst trying to make some move happen with 19 laps to go. They're going to go 3 wide, and look out, the 6 is up into the outside wall. Wayne's kind of stuck. That's going to slow Parson down. Parson now falling back there as that center lane drives right on by them all. And I'll hand that center lane over there to Dylan Grace as he hopped up there in front of Dakota Isgrave, along with Johnny Hurst. Hurst is there, 3rd car back. Ace out there in front. Christopher Barker there in 2nd. Chris Phillips there battling for 3rd as he's battling there beside the 4th place driver of Dylan Grace, who's on the outside. So them front 3 are trying to hang on to it. You got Stephen Shue there in the 4th car back. 2nd through 4th, as it stands right now, are all Foothills drivers. Ace is up there out front leading the way. Chris Barker working on down through there. Tolleson jumped to the pits. Unsure what happened with him. We see we got Parson back here towards the back now. He's sitting about 16th position. That's how quickly he got shuffled back. Down through the back stretch here as they work into corner number 3 and 4. Up there on the high side, the 12 of Dylan Grace. Stephen Shue down there on the inside. Hang on to it there, Dylan. Don't get too squirrely. You don't want to knock yourself loose there in front of the 40 of Iskrig. I got the 83 of Liam Beebe down there on the inside as well. That'll be the 5th car back on that inside lane. A Grace still up there on the outside. Dakota Inskrig there in 6th. Liam Beebe there 7th. Johnny Hurst there 8th. Mike Presley there in 9th. Rolling down through off the back stretch. They'll come down through there. Work up off the corner. There comes the 6 of Wayne Isbell. As they work down through the back stretch. 15 laps to go. There you see that 6 working to the outside. He's going to put it 3 wide. But he's now up in that outside wall again. He tried that once before. And then got stuck up there. And he's going to have the same thing happen again. He's stuck. He's falling back. And clear to the back of the pack he goes. Falling in behind the line there, behind the 77 of Adam Sprinkle. Up there towards the front, Stephen Shoes, 4th car on the bottom side. Here comes Hurst working there through the middle. As he puts that 40 up there on the top side of Dakota Iskrig, up there along the top edge. And, oh no! The 2 ends up into the outside wall. That's Tim Richardson. And he ends up getting pushed down there across the track. And we're coming here off of turn number 2. You can see it here as they go 3 wide. Richardson just not enough room. The 40 didn't give the room that he needed. Comes down the racetrack and collects the 2 of Richardson. It's tough to run 3 wide here at Daytona. Daytona's not as wide as Talladega. Next week you'd be surprised if you didn't see any 3 wide, possibly some 4 wide at one area. And see them all coming back down through the backstretch. Liam Beebe there in 7th. 13 laps to go. Take another small commercial break and then be back here at Daytona.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Lights still on that pace machine as we roll out of here, out of the turn. Coming to lap, coming here to 11 to go. Probably get back green flag racing with 10 to go. They work down here off the corner, down here across the stripe. Ace as your control car as Phillips up there on the high side. We had a few drivers come in the pit, it looks like. We had Ryan Hunter come in, along with Chris Barker. Lights go out. We're going to be going back green flag racing with 10 to go when they come back around here for that green flag. All right, here we go. Off the corner. 10 laps to go. Pace truck is in. I thought. Pace truck's down here on the inside. I'm confused. All right, rolls back up onto the racetrack. So not going green that time by. As Fred pulls it back up there onto the racetrack. Let's try to go green flag this time here, folks. And don't pay attention to them things that say out because they're not out. They're back here. As you see, Brandon McKee is back here in the number 31. Ace is out front. So I don't understand why it's jumping around like that. I haven't fully figured it out yet. I work here out of 4. Well, Fred will pull it down there on the pit lane. He hand the field over there to Ace. They get to the restart zone. They're down and away. Ace gets the restart here that he kind of was hoping for. 9 laps to go. As the 6 there, Phillips up there on the outside, going to roll it along. Ace jumps up there to the high side. to try to keep that outside momentum. Now he comes down there, and oh no, he gets turned. Gonna not save it, and up into the side of the 6. Everybody goes everywhere there as a calamity happens all over the place. Brian Tiffany, Chris Ramsey, Tyler Manning. I would say Dylan Grace there on the inside, flipped around the wrong way. Take a look at this. It'll be caution number 4 on the board. Now we see Ace ends up coming down there. Thought he might have saved it. He held it straight. All of a sudden, it just kicks all the way and then back up, bam, into the driver door of the 6. There, Chris Phillips catching everybody off guard there behind him. Everybody hangs on, trying to find their way through there. As trucks are everywhere, there you see the 046 come down into the door of the 61. Picking him up, sending him for a ride. Trying to see here where Parson ends up sliding his way on through there. Great job by him. All this went on in front of him. You'll see it here, Will's time. Parson up there on the high side. All this happened. He's going to check it up. He's going to get a little bump there from behind, but inevitably makes it on through there. As drivers in front of him end up having damage. There you see the 12 of Dylan Grace back here in about 22nd right now. As he Phillips there out front. Liam Beebe in 2nd as it stands right now. Johnny Hurst there 3rd. Looks like Beebe might bring it to pit lane. I don't know. Ace down there looking like he possibly will as well. Beebe will have to come to pit lane. Has a meatball. Ramsey also with a meatball. That truck don't look all that... well, I guess so. A couple trucks there with the meatball flag. One of them's already down and fixed. That was the 83 of Liam Beebe. Hey, watch him coming out the corner here. Johnny Hurst up there in front. Robert Monday back there in 2nd. As we said, this is the 5th caution of the night. Drivers trying to settle in here. Some of them possibly going to get a little bit more aggressive here as the night goes on. Robert Monday up 23 positions if my score keeping is correct. Mike Presley there 3rd, up 16. Wayne Isbell there up there in 8th, up 19 positions. Sam Lucier up 14 positions, sorry. Somewhere around there. You got the 6 there. As we said, Wayne. He's up 19, and he's been up farther than that, too, in that camouflage drill tree machine. And we're down here out of the corner. Lights are back off. We'll be going back green flag racing here with 5 laps to go. Hey, Parson, second car back on the outside. So he'll be starting 4th. You got the 17 of Mike Presley there on the inside. So lap 6 here on the board. They work here off the corner. Side by side, getting ready for the restart. Mike Presley there in 3rd. Ben Parson there in 4th. Down and away. Green flag is out. 5 laps to go down here in the corner number 1. Side by side, they keep it on rolling there. As you see them all get single file up there at the front. First 6 trucks, maybe 8 trucks. Dropping there to single file. They roll through turn 1 and 2. Everybody kind of hanging on to get up to speed. 5 laps to go here at Daytona to find out who's going to win tonight and the trucks for the Super Speedway Series. And that outside lane back here towards the backs trying to get something going. They're being led by the 31, it looks like. Brandon McKee up there on the high side, but up here towards the front a little bit. We got 2 trucks jump out of line, trying to pull along up there at the front. That's going to be the 27 there. And there they go. We got more trucks jumping up, almost going 3 wide there. Parson down there on the inside, pushing along. And we got caution as the 66 goes, or 67 of Ben Ryan goes wound and up, and they're taken for a ride. Green-white checker here to finish this one out tonight, folks. I see him up there. You see how that 6 back there just gets kind of sandwiched and not really anywhere that he could go. The 67 there as well ends up getting pushed along. The 6, that's a 006 there of Chris Phillips going around. Ben Ryan ends up getting turned around. I don't really know if that was completely Ben's fault there. It just stacked up on the outside there. I mean, if we break it down, I don't know if he didn't go or what happened there. I mean, it's hard to say whose fault that might be. And we see him here on the start. Or coming up here through the start-finish line. You got the 67 up there on the top side. There's the 6. The 6 there gets into him on that high side. Not enough room there, and Chris Phillips ends up spinning the 67 around. Green-white checker here tonight for the James Wagner Welding Super Speedway Series here tonight with the trucks at Daytona. Last week we were there. We were out here with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we were out here with the Xfinity cars. Now, I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. It is marked on the stream, so, I mean, I can always look back at that. But, yeah, I'm almost positive it was Xfinity, but, like I said, I could be wrong on that. Last week, we were at, yeah, it was Xfinity here at Daytona. Ben Parson won that race. He's currently sitting back here pit. Dalton Steele 6th. Adam Sprinkle there 7th. Sam Lucio there 8th. Dakota Isgrigg 9th. Brandon McKee in 10th as they roll it along here. As we said, green, white checker. So they're coming to the line. They'll get the green flag, come back around after a lap, and get the white flag. Everybody works on down out of the corner here. Looking good so far. Just trying to make it to the end. Ace had a great night going. He's stuck back here in about 15th now after getting wrecked. Yeah, you got 98 there. Bear Copthorne. Tyler Manning back here as well. Stephen Shue, he started up there in he either started on pole or started there in second, and he's back here in 19th. And you got the 006 there, Phillips. And Richardson. See if we go and get the green, or get the light. 1 to go. There it is, the 1 to go. They're going to stack it back up. And they roll on down through off the corner, down here into corner number 1. Mike Presley as your leader. Robert Monday there in second. Got Johnny Hurst there in third. Ryan Hunter there fourth. And the biggest thing to these races that a lot of people will tell you is at the beginning, yeah, you want to try to push a little bit, but the biggest thing to these races, these super speedways, especially Daytona, Talladega, is you want to be there at the end. So you want to try to work through the race, stay towards the front, but stay out of trouble. That's why a lot of guys, they like to run that inside line. That way it gives them an out, hopefully. They're not stuck up there between, up there at the wall to where, stuff happens and they don't really have much of anywhere to go. We're down on the inside. That gives them at least some racetrack and infield to play with, that they can jump down there below the yellow line and try to avoid an accident. They work down there off the corner in the corner number 1. Or corner number 3, I'm sorry. Presley as your leader. Monday there in second. Both of those drivers have moved up quite a bit of spots here. And I don't think the aggressiveness is done, since we are waiting here as they come out of turn number 4. Cameras here tonight provided and sponsored by Track Cams. Sponsors up there in the top right corner. Thank everybody up there for contributing there where you can. Down here through off the restart zone, down here in the corner number 1 they go. Yeah, looks like one blinked out there. Hopefully that doesn't become an issue. That's the 56 there of Dalton Steele. He's starting to blink out quite a bit there, right behind the 27 of Ryan Hunter. Working on down through corner number 1 and 2. You're on board there with the 57 of Robert Monday as he's trying to bring that top lane along. Unfortunately, no, there he is. He's getting ahead of steam now, getting some help from behind. They work down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Up there against that top side, as we said, Robert Monday being pushed along there by the 56 of Dalton Steele. Down there on the inside You got them all back there. And it's amazing that two trucks up there are hanging in the way they can. They work down here across the stripe. Last lap, white flag in the air. Anything will go. Watch these guys as they push along here down into corner number 1. Anything will go pretty much here in the iRacing world. We'll see what happens here as that 56 blinks in and out. Working down here off of turn number 2. Robert Monday there in 3rd, hanging on to it. As you see, oh no, we got problems. They're going around. We got them upside down, up and over. And around they go as a pileup happens there behind. Here comes the leaders, though, down there through. And look out, Parson! Parson gets collected in it. And out front here, it's Robert Monday. Dalton Steele, Ryan Hunter bringing home the top 3. Shoe will come home for it. Dylan Grace there 5th. Parson will limp across here in the 7th. Presley there in 6th. And as we said, mayhem happens here at the end. Whenever it's white flag on iRacing, it just, anything goes, it seems. And a big calamity there at the ending. Robert Monday getting the win. They're out there in that number 57. Dalton Steele in 2nd. Ryan Hunter in 3rd. And they head on back through here. Great job here by most of the drivers as we're waiting for the results to come in. Your results are here. Robert Monday getting the win. Dalton Steele there in 2nd. Ryan Hunter 3rd. Stephen Shue there 4th. Dylan Grace in 5th. Mike Presley. Hey now. Mike Presley there in 6th. Chris Phillips there 7th. Ben Parson there in 8th. Eric Carpenter there in 9th. Johnny Hurst there in 10th. Wayne Isbell 11th. Tyler Manning 12th. Chris Schulzler there in 13th. In 14th, Adam Sprinkle. Dakota Iskrig there 15th. Tim Richardson 16th. Nathan Barker there in... Matthew Barker there in 17th. 18th going there to Liam Beebe. Brandon McKee there in 19th. Samuel Lucier there in 20th. Chris Ramsey there 21st. Ben Ryan 22nd. Chad Hawkins 23rd. Christopher Barker there 24th. Jimmy Pilan there 25th. Barry Tollison there in 26th. Brian Tiffany there in 27th. Oh, yeah, it can get interesting there, Ninja. Let's see here. Can we get with... Let's see who we can get with here for our... Well, we got 3rd place here, Ryan Hunter. Good evening there, Ryan. How's it going?
It's going. I don't know what just happened, but it's going.
I can't fully answer that for you. I just know there is tons of mayhem.
Yes, the first half of the race was fantastic, and then at some point halfway through, it was exactly that, mayhem.
I don't know any other better word to describe it other than, unfounded chaos. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with.
I mean, and I've seen it time and time again here at Roughneck and on other leagues where that white flag comes out and it's pretty much anything goes.
Yeah, it's I think it's a lot of impatience and giddiness to try to get to checkered flag, but still got a whole lap to go. So you gotta get there in one piece to get there. You know.
That's it. I mean, you can still not finish. I've seen it where you can get clear up to turn 4 because I've been there. Get up to turn 4 and then something happens, and unfortunately your race is ended and you end up with a DNF.
Yep. Liam, my teammate, he has ended up on the roof of his car more times than I can count, so he can attest to that.
Yeah. But you did a great job holding on there for third, avoiding all the chaos. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for that third spot here tonight?
I want to start off with James Wagner's Welding. We wouldn't be here without them. Everybody that races for Roughneck, great group of guys, and I really couldn't ask for a better field to be surrounded with, and just Renegade Racing as well. We have a couple of guys that race in both leagues, so I appreciate all those guys, and you for the broadcast, and Jeff for the RC work, and all the other admin that worked on getting this league up and running every week. We wouldn't be able to do it without all the pieces of the puzzle.
That's for sure. I mean, it's always great racing every week, and I think we're at Talladega next week if I saw the schedule right.
I believe we are.
And that'll be with the ARCA cars.
Yep.
And then we come back to Daytona. Or am I screwing up the...
I believe we come back to Daytona for the last one in Xfinity.
Yes, that is right. I just pulled up the schedule.
Yep.
So, yeah, that is right. So, it'll be interesting to see exactly how it plays out. I mean, I don't quite know how the points are at this point in time on who's going to take what, but it'll be great to watch how things play out. Great job tonight getting that third place.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You have yourself a great night there, Ryan.
You as well.
All right, with Ryan Hunter, our third place. Now we'll see if we can track down Dalton Steele. Good evening there, Dalton. How's it going? You there, Dalton? Now we're trying to see if we got a hold of Dalton here. Dalton, our radio's working. Don't seem like it here. And I don't know. Oh, there he is. See, Robert, how's it going?
How's it going?
It's going. How's Victory Lane tonight?
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you pulled it off okay. You avoided the chaos and got out there and got the job done in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your take on that whole last lap chaos avoiding measures?
Man, I wasn't trying to go for the win as bad as it, as dumb as it sounds. But, I was trying to work with my teammate, Mike, who was leading the race there at the end. I was trying to get him to work. We were trying to work something out, and I guess Johnny just caught on to us, and he stayed right with him, and I couldn't get in and behind Johnny and Mike. But fortunately, I had some help, and we were able to rally back. I was trying to get Mike to jump up in front of me so I could push him for the win, because Mike is battling honestly, at the end of the day, to win the championship. I was trying to help him out, because it's a team deal. Want to make it about the teams and get each other going in the right direction. Which Mike was battling with third with Dylan Grace, and they're currently tied right now in points. So definitely going to be working with him extra hard the next 2 races to try to at least get him a win.
Yeah, I mean, it was going well, and it's just unfortunate things played out the way they did, and there's always next week.
Yeah, there's always next week. That's the crappy thing about play racing is like I've said before. Sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. It's just the luck of the draw. And fortunately for me and Mike, it was just the luck of the draw for us, and we were running, able to run really good and get up there, and just Mike's luck ran short at the end. They're coming to the checkered flag. I was telling Mike to jump up in front of me, but at the end of the day, if he hadn't stayed on the bottom, which sucked, he got wrecked. But if they hadn't wrecked, Mike would have won the race, because I don't think Johnny would have been able to get around him, because I wasn't close enough to help him. It was just me and Dalton right there on the top. There's 4 on the bottom, 2 up top. They just had a run on us.
Yeah. I mean, you did pretty good hanging with them, though, with only 2 trucks up there on the top.
Side drafting my butt off. Trying to use the air as best as I could.
Well, you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that victory tonight?
My teammates, I've got a great group of dudes I've raced with, between Mike Presley, Brandon McKee, and Wayne Isabel. Some great dudes to race with. They make this enjoyable. Can't thank Dougie enough, Wagner Welding, for allowing us to do this, along with the admins who put this on for us. Obviously, without them, there wouldn't be a series like this. And so far, I've enjoyed it for it being my first full season with them. I've had some good luck and some bad luck with them, but
Steven, I'm on right now. All right, sorry about that.
You're good, man.
So, I mean, but you did a great job and pulling it off, and can't wait to see what happens in the next coming weeks. I mean, there's 2 races left in the season.
Yeah, there's two races left in the season, and I've already come up with a plan with Mike. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you get this championship. I'm close, but I'd rather see Mike win it than me. Mike's a great dude to be with, and he's just awesome all around to talk to and have fun.
All righty, well, we'll see how it plays out in the ARCA cars next week at Dega. You have yourself a great night, and congrats on your win. That was Robert Monday. They're getting the win tonight. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show. As there were lots of racing, lots of action. And as we saw, they're coming to the flag. Mayhem everywhere. We could possibly take another look at it here. As you see it coming there up top. These drivers there having to really check it up. Yeah, we already had them behind them really having issues. And see the 58 there up into the outside wall. That's going to bring some others there on the back. Oh yeah, it was maybe I hit the wrong lap here. These guys here in the back. Coming there. There we see them coming down through. And just problems here as it stands out. They come there off the corner. Lucia there in the 31. Tags the 40. There's that big calamity there in the back. They spin around. And there's more. The 77 goes up. There goes the 5. And BB ends up into the outside wall. Sam Lucier, he was upside down. So just all kind of things everywhere. Thanks again for everybody that came out to watch. Here in about another half hour, we will be with the Freedom Motorsport Alliance. I guess it'll be about 20 minutes. So 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So if you're wanting to watch some GT3 racing, be sure to come back to Flickerfarm TV in about 20 to 25 minutes. We will be back live then. For now, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.